God says, "Your son is in tears and desperately needs you right now. Do not ignore this. Open it at once." When a child cries out, especially a son whose heart has been quietly breaking, heaven hears, even if the world does not. This message is not just words, it is a gentle but urgent call to turn your heart toward the one who needs you most, the one God placed in your life for a purpose no one else can fulfill. You are not here by accident, and neither is the one calling for you in silence. Type 1010 if you believe. There are moments in life when something stirs so deeply within that we cannot explain it in words. It might come as a whisper in your heart, a sudden stillness, or the ache of love you cannot ignore. God speaks through these moments not with thunder, but with quiet, patient grace. He wants you to pause and listen. He wants you to feel the gentle pull that says, "Be near, be present. Your love is needed now." And when that love is offered with no hesitation, miracles unfold, not loud or showy, but in ways that heal the soul one breath at a time. There is a cry that only a parent's spirit can hear. Not every tear is loud. Sometimes pain hides behind silence, behind a forced smile or a quiet room, but God sees it. He sees the son whose strength is running low, whose courage is thinning, and whose hope is dimming. And he sees you, the one who can reach him not through solutions or answers, but through presence, patience, and love. The kind of love that waits without judgment, that stays even when words run out, that forgives even when it hurts. This is not just a message about a son, it's about your heart. It's about the love God planted in you that was never meant to fade with time, distance, or weariness. Love, real love, is the language of heaven. It is what Jesus showed the world not with grand speeches, but with his arms stretched wide on a cross. That love did not wait until people deserved it. It was given freely, completely, and forever. That same love lives in you. It is what your son needs most right now. Type 1818 if you trust in God. God knows how hard it has been. He knows the days when you felt tired, stretched too thin, and unsure of what to do next. But he also knows the power of your love. It is no small thing to be a mother or father in the eyes of heaven. You are his hands and heart on earth, and through you his comfort flows. You don't have to fix everything. You don't need the perfect words. You only need to show up and open your heart. That alone can part the clouds and let the light in. Your son's tears may not be seen by others, but they are seen by God. And now they are seen by you. Not in guilt, not in shame, but in purpose. This is not about regret. It's about what can still be done today. The past cannot be changed, but love can change everything from this moment on. It can mend the broken, soften the hard places, and bring light back into weary eyes. Don't underestimate what God can do through a single act of love when it comes from him. God does not ask you to be perfect. He only asks you to be willing to love without conditions, willing to reach out even when it feels awkward or late, willing to believe that healing is still possible, because it is. With God, nothing is too far gone, nothing is too broken. If Jesus could raise the dead, then surely he can revive a heart that feels lost. And sometimes all it takes is the warmth of a voice that says, "I'm here. I haven't given up on you." If your heart is feeling something right now, it is not by accident. It is the Holy Spirit nudging you with gentle urgency, saying, "This matters." Don't let fear or doubt silence that nudge. Don't wait for the perfect time. The time is now. God's timing is always right, and when he places a burden of love on your heart, it means he has already made a way. All he needs is your yes. A 7-second brainwave ritual uncovered from sealed records and hidden in CIA files is transforming financial lives. It activates a forgotten abundance channel in the brain, leading to new financial opportunities and cleared debts. Click the link in the comments below before it disappears. You may not know what to say. That's okay. Just say something. You may not know how to fix what's hurting. That's okay. Just be there. Sometimes the strongest message is the quiet one. A hand on a shoulder, a message sent with love, a look that says, "I see you." These are holy things. They carry weight in the kingdom of God. And when offered with sincerity, they open doors no key could ever turn. As you read this, let your heart soften. Let go of any pride or pain that says, "Not now," or "Maybe later." This is a moment between you and God. A moment when He is showing you just how deeply you are needed, not in the eyes of the world, but in the life of someone whose tears reach the ears of heaven. And maybe, just maybe, your love is the miracle God wants to send. God has chosen you to be that someone, not by chance but by His divine will. You are not helpless. You are not alone. You are loved, and you are the vessel through which healing can flow into someone who is silently breaking. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. There's something sacred in being present for someone else's pain, especially when that someone is your child. You may not know the full weight of what your son is going through, and maybe he hasn't spoken the words out loud, but pain doesn't always need to speak to be real. God sees it, and in His mercy, He placed it on your heart to care, to notice, to step in not with perfection, but with compassion. This is your moment to lean into love that doesn't run away, love that doesn't stay silent, love that reflects the heart of Jesus. Jesus never walked past the hurting. He noticed the ones others ignored. He bent down, He reached out, and He stayed close. And He's asking you to do the same, because your love has power, not the kind that controls or fixes, but the kind that restores. You don't need to have every answer. God is the answer. He will lead your steps if you simply take the first one. That first step might be a message, a call, a prayer whispered in faith, or a quiet moment when you say, "God, show me how to love Him like you do." Don't let fear stop you. Don't let the past hold you back. God is not bound by mistakes or distance. His grace can cover every wound. He does not keep a list of your shortcomings as a parent. He holds out His hand and says, "Walk with me. I'll show you how." The world may measure success in big things, but God sees love in small ones. A kind word, a listening ear, a choice to stay when leaving feels easier. These are the things that change lives. These are the things Jesus taught us to do. You are not too late. That lie has no place in your heart. As long as there is breath in your body and hope in your spirit, God can work miracles. He is the God of new beginnings, not just for your son, but for you too. Maybe you've been carrying your own pain, your own regrets, and maybe the silence between you and your son has grown wider than you thought. But today, God is calling you to bridge it, not with pressure, not with guilt, but with love that doesn't quit. Type 555 to open your heart to God's plan. This is not just about healing your son. This is also about healing you. Because something beautiful happens when we give love even while we ourselves are still healing. God uses that act of surrender to pour strength into both hearts. As you step closer to your son's pain, you will find your own burdens starting to lift. That is how the Spirit works. In comforting others, we ourselves are comforted. In pouring out love, we receive it back, multiplied in ways only heaven can explain. You may look back on this day one day and realize it was the turning point, the moment when everything began to change. Because that's what God does. He turns broken things into beautiful stories. He turns silence into songs of grace. He turns tears into testimonies. You won't always see the fruit right away, but trust that it's growing. Every seed of love you plant now will blossom in time. Keep loving, keep showing up, keep believing. God is working in ways you cannot yet see. Your son may not know how to ask for help. That's okay. You don't need him to say the right words to offer your love. Sometimes the loudest cries are the ones left unspoken. You might notice small signs, changes in his tone, distance in his eyes, or moments when he seems lost in his own world. Don't brush those moments off. Let them stir something in you. Let them guide you closer to him, not with fear but with faith. Faith that says, God, you see him, help me see him too. There is no pain deeper than feeling alone in your struggle, but there is no joy greater than knowing someone is truly there for you. Be that joy, be that presence, be the living example of God's love, soft, steady, and safe. Your voice, your kindness, your time, they matter more than you know. The world may be loud, but the quiet presence of love speaks louder to a hurting heart than anything else. Jesus came to be near to the brokenhearted. He walks with those who are weary. He lifts the heads of those who have forgotten how to hope. And today, he is walking with you too. He is strengthening you so you can strengthen the one who needs you. You are not walking into this alone. Every time you feel unsure, every time you feel small, remember who goes before you. The one who made the stars also made you. The one who raised the dead is raising hope in your home again. And right now, more than anything, he needs your love to be louder than his pain. Not a loudness in voice, but in nearness, in gentle presence, in the kind of warmth that speaks straight to the soul without a single word. Type 222 to say yes to God's nudge. When God places a burden on your heart, especially one that won't leave no matter how busy life becomes, it's a holy signal. It's not guilt or pressure, it's purpose. You were chosen to love this child, to be a source of light in the places where his hope flickers. And even if there have been seasons of distance or silence, it's never too late for love to reach in and draw him back to peace. God never turns away from us, and through his Spirit in you, he is asking you not to turn away either. Love that heals doesn't demand, it doesn't rush, it doesn't come with expectations or lectures. The love of Christ is slow to anger and rich in mercy. It listens first, it holds space, it says, I see you, I'm here. And sometimes, that's all a weary heart needs to take a breath again. Maybe your son is waiting for that moment, one small window where he feels safe enough to say, I'm not okay. God is preparing you to be ready for that moment. He's softening your heart even now so you won't miss it. You may be wondering why this moment feels so urgent. That's because God knows what you don't. He knows what your son is wrestling with in the quiet. He knows what questions are haunting him, what wounds are still fresh, and what lies the enemy has tried to plant in his mind. And God, in his deep love, is stepping in now to say, not today, this one will not be lost. You are his instrument of rescue. Your voice will speak life where fear has grown. Your arms will offer shelter where loneliness has crept in. Using a simple 7-second brainwave ritual, once classified and hidden in CIA files, can unlock wealth, freedom, and success already inside you. This discovery is helping thousands step into abundance, and God has led you here for a reason. Click the link in the description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency today. Sometimes when we think of miracles, we imagine big, sudden changes, but often God's greatest miracles come gently, almost unnoticed until we look back and realize how far we've come. That moment when you choose to send a message, make a call, or show up without needing a reason, that's a miracle in the making. It's God weaving his love into the small things, into the ordinary moments that become sacred because they were led by the Spirit. Type 1919 to receive miracles. Don't let the voice of unworthiness stop you. Maybe you feel like you've failed in the past, that you didn't say the right things, or that you didn't always know how to love well. But God doesn't call the flawless. He calls the willing. He calls the ones who say, Lord, I don't know how, but I'll show up if you lead me. And God, who is full of mercy, covers all gaps with his grace. What feels impossible for you becomes possible through him. Even if your son doesn't respond right away, don't give up. Seeds of love take time to grow, and some hearts take longer to trust again. That's okay. Keep loving anyway. Keep praying. Keep asking God to guide your words and soften his heart. There may be silence now, but God is still working in that silence. Your obedience to love might be the very thing that begins to open doors that once seemed sealed shut. You are not doing this alone. Heaven is backing you. The Holy Spirit is already moving ahead of you, preparing the way. Angels are assigned to guard and comfort both you and your son. God's presence surrounds your family with peace, even when everything feels uncertain. Lean into that truth. Speak it over your home. Declare that healing is coming, that breakthrough is near, that nothing is too lost for God to redeem. Let yourself feel what this moment means. Don't push it away or reason it out. Sit with it. Pray through it. Ask God to show you what he sees. And when you do, you may find yourself overwhelmed, not with fear, but with love, a love so deep, so steady, and so full of compassion that it can only come from God. That is the love your son needs to feel through you. That is the love that never fails. Remember the stories Jesus told. He spoke of lost sheep and prodigal sons, not because they were easy, but because they were precious. He spoke of searching, waiting, and celebrating when the lost returned. And today you are living part of that same story. Whether your son has wandered far or simply lost his way in the weight of life, God is calling him home through your open heart. There is no shame here, only grace, only love. Let your presence be like the light left on at the front door, a quiet reminder that he's never too far to come back, never too broken to be embraced, never too damaged to be restored. This is what Jesus came for. Not for perfect homes or polished stories, but for real people, with real pain, in need of real hope. That hope lives in you, and now is the time to pour it out. Keep your heart soft. Keep your arms open. Keep your spirit ready. Because the God who hears every whisper is about to do something new, and you are part of it. You were made for this moment not by accident, but by the careful design of a loving Father who trusts you with his love. Somewhere in the silence, in a place words have not touched, your son is aching, and heaven is gently placing that ache before you, not to frighten you, but to awaken something powerful within you. This is not a call to panic. It is a call to love, deeper and softer than before. Type yes. To affirm your heart is open. Sometimes the greatest battles are fought in silence. Not with noise, not with shouts or cries, but in the stillness of long nights, behind the smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes, in the room where your son sits quietly, wrestling with a storm no one else can see. God sees it. He has not looked away. And in his kindness, he chose you not because you're perfect, but because your love was always meant to be the anchor in his storm. This love, the one you carry, is not ordinary. It is holy. It is placed there by God himself. It's easy to think that someone else might be better suited, someone more patient, someone wiser. But the truth is, there is no one more chosen than you. You are the one God entrusted with this precious soul, and even when you've doubted yourself, he never has. He has watched you weep, he has seen your exhaustion, and he has never once withdrawn his presence from your side. He is not asking you to fix what's broken. He is asking you to be present, to love, to stay near. When Jesus walked this earth, he didn't just perform miracles. He sat with the hurting. He walked with the confused. He embraced the outcast. He listened without rushing. This same Jesus now walks with you. Every step you take toward your son, every time you offer your heart instead of a solution, you walk in his footsteps. You become a reflection of the same compassion that saved the world, and that's enough. That's more than enough. You might feel afraid of saying the wrong thing, afraid of pushing too hard, or maybe even afraid of what your son might say if you reach out. But fear is not your guide. Faith is. Let love lead, not logic. Let grace do the work that words cannot. Sometimes just sitting beside him, even in silence, is the loudest declaration of love you could ever give. Sometimes simply being there without asking for anything is what gives a heart permission to breathe again. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. A powerful 7-second morning ritual, once hidden in CIA files, is resurfacing, and people are already seeing fast financial breakthroughs. It takes only seconds, yet activates a dormant wealth center in the brain most people never access. Click the link in the description and comments now. Access it before it disappears. Your son may not be able to tell you what he needs right now, but God already knows. That's why you're reading this. That's why your heart feels what it does. That's why your spirit won't settle. You've been called into this moment, into this love, into this act of obedience. Don't look back. Don't second guess it. Trust that the same God who created your son knows exactly how to reach him and that he wants to do it through you. There is a beauty in quiet faithfulness, in doing the right thing when no one else sees, in choosing love over reaction, in saying, "I'm here," when everything feels uncertain. These small, faithful steps become bridges, bridges that lead someone home, bridges that lead hearts back to safety. You are building one of those bridges now, even if you can't see the full path ahead. Keep building it with every prayer, every word of kindness, every patient silence, and every reminder that your love will never walk away. God honors these moments. Heaven watches. Every act of love done in secret is sacred in His eyes. Even if you feel unsure, your willingness is enough. Your heart is enough. And what God can do through a willing heart is far greater than anything you could plan or prepare. He is not looking for perfection. He is looking for surrender. He is looking for you to say, "Lord, I'm willing. Use me." There may have been seasons where things were hard between you and your son. Maybe there were words spoken that left wounds. Maybe time created distance. But the love of God is not limited by time or past mistakes. His grace is greater, His timing is perfect, and His ability to restore is endless. What feels impossible to you is only a whisper away for Him. He can soften hearts. He can bring understanding. He can breathe life into what has felt dry and empty. So take the step, send the message, sit down beside Him. Start the conversation, even if it's just about something small. Love doesn't have to be dramatic to be real. It just needs to be steady. You may not see the change right away, but don't lose hope. Your son may need time to feel safe again, to believe he's worthy of being loved so deeply. And your love, modeled after the love of Christ, will show him that he is. You were made for this. Your heart was crafted by the same hands that formed the stars, and it beats with purpose. God knew what He was doing when He gave you this child, and even in the moments when you felt overwhelmed or uncertain, He has never once doubted you. He believes in what He's placed inside you. And now, in this moment of quiet urgency, He's asking you to believe too. More than anything, your son needs to know that he is not alone, that someone sees him, that someone cares deeply, unconditionally, without pressure or judgment. Be that someone. Let him feel the steadiness of your love. Let him know that no matter what has happened, he is still loved, still chosen, still a gift. God is already moving. He is already healing. And through your open heart, He is bringing light back into a life that was beginning to dim. Trust Him. Lean into Him. He will not let you fall. What He begins, He will finish. What He plants, He will grow. What He touches, He will restore. That stirring is often the Holy Spirit quietly nudging, gently whispering, "Pay attention. Something is not right." When your child, especially your son, is hurting in silence, God will not allow that pain to go unnoticed. Instead, He places that ache on your heart, inviting you to carry it together with Him. Type 2323 if you agree. Your son may be facing things you cannot see. Maybe the world around him has become too heavy, and he doesn't yet know how to carry it. Maybe he feels lost in a crowd, unseen in a world that moves too fast, unsure of how to ask for help. There are battles being fought inside people every day, and it's easy to miss them when everything on the outside looks fine. But God sees past the surface. He knows the struggle beneath the smile, the fear behind the silence, the heaviness hidden beneath the daily routines. And right now, He is inviting you to see it too, not with your eyes, but with your heart. This moment isn't about dramatic change or rushed conversations. It's about presence, real, sacred presence. Just as Jesus walked with the weary, sat with the broken, and reached for those society forgot, you are being called to reach out with that same spirit. You don't have to know what to say. You don't need answers. You only need to be willing. Let your love be steady and calm, like a lighthouse in a storm, not loud but unshakable. God's love does not force itself. It waits with open arms, just like the father of the prodigal son who stood looking down the road believing his child would return. That is the posture of heaven right now, full of expectation, full of mercy, full of hope. You are part of that divine hope. Your presence in your son's life can be a glimpse of the Father's heart, a gentle reminder that He's not forgotten, not beyond reach, not alone. There's a tenderness in your spirit right now, one that isn't weakness but holy strength. To feel deeply is a gift. To love without giving up is divine. And though you may feel vulnerable or unsure, know that God is with you in every step. He goes before you, prepares the way, softens hearts, and makes room for healing. His Spirit is already working on your behalf, and all He asks is that you keep moving forward in love. Type 2020 to claim miracles. A simple but powerful 7-second at-home ritual, it's hidden in CIA files for years, is now changing lives rapidly. Backed by neuroscience research, it can begin shifting your financial direction in just days. Click the link in the description and comments now, and step into abundance today. You may wonder, what if I try and nothing changes? But love is not measured by results, it's measured by faithfulness. Jesus didn't love people because they changed. He loved them because it's who He is. And you, made in His image, carry that same capacity for enduring, unwavering love. Every time you choose to show up, even if nothing seems to change, you are planting seeds of hope. You are sowing peace into the soil of the soul, and in time, those seeds will break through. There is no time limit on healing. Some wounds take longer than others. Some hearts have learned to hide their pain so well, it takes gentleness and time to reach them. But if you continue to reflect the patient, persistent love of Jesus, healing will come. And when it does, it won't just heal your son. It will heal parts of you, 2 parts you didn't know were still waiting to be restored. God knows the story you've lived. He knows the joy, the heartbreak, the missteps, and the moments you wished you had done more. But He's not asking you to dwell on what could have been. He's calling you to lean into what still can be. Redemption is not just a word, it's a reality, and it's happening now. You are not disqualified. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be, right in the center of God's timing. When you pray, even if your words feel small, heaven listens. When you cry out for your son, angels are sent to stand guard. When you speak peace over his life, you are echoing the voice of your heavenly Father. These are not empty gestures. These are holy acts. Acts that shift the atmosphere, soften hearts, and open doors where none seem to exist. Let this moment be a return not just to your son, but to God's heart for your family. Let it be a reminder that love still works, that faith still heals, and that nothing is too broken for God to make new. You are a vessel of that love. You are the hands that can reach where no one else can. You are the voice that your son may need to hear above all others, not because you're perfect, but because you're his. He may not say thank you right away. He may not respond how you hope. But keep loving him anyway. Keep choosing him. Keep believing in the power of God's love to do what your own strength cannot. And in time, the walls will come down, the tears will be met with comfort, and the space between you will be filled with grace. This is not a small thing. This is a holy calling. Your son is not just your child. He is God's creation, deeply loved, deeply known, and fiercely protected. And through your love, God is reaching him. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every silent prayer matters more than you know. Stay close to the one who called you. Stay soft in a world that often grows hard. Stay faithful, even when the road is long. God sees it all, and he will reward what is done in love. In the quiet, God is already at work, whispering comfort, preparing healing, and stirring your spirit to rise not in fear but in love. You are not reading this by chance. You are reading it because heaven is gently placing a sacred burden on your heart, not to overwhelm you, but to awaken you to how much your love is needed right now. Type Amen if you believe. There's something unexplainable about a parent's connection to their child. It isn't just emotional, it is spiritual. It's as if your hearts are tethered by a thread woven by God himself. And when your child is hurting, even if they say nothing, your spirit knows. You feel it in the stillness. You sense it in the ordinary moments that suddenly feel heavier. That knowing is God's grace working through you. That quiet ache is his way of telling you, it's time to lean in. Your presence is needed. Your son's soul is crying out. Jesus never turned away from tears. When others walked past, he paused. When others judged, he extended compassion. When others gave up, he drew closer. And now, he is drawing you closer too. You don't have to have the right words. You don't need to understand every detail. What matters most is that your heart is willing. What matters most is that your love reflects his gentle, unwavering, and ready to embrace without condition. Your son may be battling things he doesn't know how to put into words. He may be carrying guilt he never meant to hold, or shame he doesn't deserve. He may be tired in a way sleep can't fix, or lonely in a way that crowds can't touch. But God sees it all. And he isn't calling you to fix him, he's calling you to love him through it. You may not be the healer, but you are the vessel God can use to deliver healing into places only a parent's love can reach. You don't have to rush. Healing is not a race. This is about steady love, love that waits, that listens, that stays, even when there are no answers. Sometimes what your son needs most is not advice or direction, but a quiet reminder that he is safe with you, that no matter how far he feels from God, your love has not gone anywhere. That he is still worthy of kindness, still worthy of care, still worthy of being seen. Type 1111 if you trust in God. There may have been moments in the past that left wounds. Maybe there were things you wish you'd said, things you regret, or times when pain created distance. But the past does not define this moment. God does not call you according to your failures. He calls you according to his faithfulness. And right now he is writing a new chapter, one not built on guilt, but on grace. One that says healing is still possible, restoration is still within reach. What if wealth was never about luck, but a hidden brain signal buried in CIA files? This frequency is opening doors, attracting opportunities, and changing lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to attract wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brainwave today. The truth is, there's power in a parent's love when it mirrors the love of Christ. It doesn't try to control or force, it simply stays. It says, I'm not leaving. No matter what, I'm still here. And that kind of love, faithful, steady, full of mercy, shakes the walls around a weary soul. It makes room for hope to enter. It lets light creep back in where darkness tried to settle. You may not realize it, but your presence carries peace. When you step into your son's world, even if it's just with a wordless hug or a soft smile, something shifts. It's like water to dry ground. His heart may not show it right away, but the soil is being softened. The lies he may have believed about his worth, about being alone, about being too far gone begin to break apart when faced with the simple truth of your love. And through your love, he will begin to feel the love of the Father. That's what makes this so important. You are not just reaching out as a parent. You are reaching out as someone who carries the Spirit of God within them. That Spirit knows exactly how to comfort, how to guide, and how to speak in ways deeper than words. Lean on Him. Ask Him to lead you. He will show you when to speak and when to be still, when to step forward and when to simply sit close. This journey of healing is not just for your son, it's also for you. As you open your heart again, as you offer love freely, as you trust God with the process, something inside you will begin to heal too. The burdens you've carried, the questions that have haunted you, the ache of, "What did I miss?" they will start to ease in the presence of God's peace. He is not just healing one heart. He is restoring an entire story. There is no limit to what God can do when we say yes to Him. No wound too deep, no silence too long, no distance too far. The cross proves that love travels to the ends of the earth, to the depths of pain, to the heart of every broken place, and that same love is alive in you today. Let that love lead you. Let it soften your voice. Let it slow your steps. Let it steady your hands. When your son looks back one day, may he remember not just the pain he endured, but the love that never gave up on him. The love that waited, the love that forgave, the love that stayed. When a son is in pain, and his voice has grown quiet from the weight of it, God doesn't wait for the world to notice. He goes straight to the heart of the one who can reach him through love. That someone is you. Type 222 if you feel this in your heart. There are tears your son has cried that no one else has seen. Maybe he wipes them away before they fall. Maybe he hides behind a strong face. Or maybe he simply holds them in, convincing himself that no one would understand. But God understands. And God, in His infinite kindness, chooses to reach him not just through angels or miracles from heaven, but through your love. The love of a parent, when it is led by the Spirit, carries the very essence of Jesus, gentle, patient, and healing. You may feel the ache rising in your chest even as you read these words. That is the Spirit moving within you, awakening compassion, calling you back into a place of holy attentiveness, because love cannot wait when pain is present. And though your son may not be able to ask for what he needs, the cry of his heart has already reached the ears of the one who made him. The Father hears, and now He is asking you to hear too, not with judgment, not with fear, but with grace. You were chosen to be a covering of love, not just when things were joyful, but especially when things became heavy. That is what true love does. It does not withdraw when the road gets hard, it leans in. And in leaning in, it becomes the very place where healing begins. Jesus did this again and again. He leaned into pain. He sat beside the broken-hearted. He met people exactly where they were, not with demands, but with deep compassion. You have that same Spirit within you, and now is the time to let it rise. Your son's journey may not look like what you imagined. His path may be tangled, uncertain, or clouded by confusion, but God is not intimidated by any of it. In fact, He does His best work in uncertain places. He brings clarity where there is confusion. He brings light into shadows. And He brings restoration through the power of love, most often, through the love of someone who chooses not to walk away, even when they don't understand everything. If your son feels distant right now, don't give up. If he seems unreachable, don't lose heart. God's timing often works beneath the surface. What looks like silence may simply be a seed being watered, unseen but not forgotten. And your love is part of that watering. It may feel slow, it may feel quiet, but it is working. Every kind gesture, every moment of gentleness, every word spoken in love is breaking through the hard places. Type 555 if you believe love still heals. You don't have to be perfect to be present. In fact, it's your humanity that makes your love so powerful. When your son sees that you care enough to come close, even without all the answers, even when you're unsure yourself, he sees a reflection of how Jesus draws near to us. Love does not always need to speak. Sometimes it just needs to sit beside, to hold a hand, to give space without leaving. These are the things that shape a soul. These are the things that remind someone they matter. A 7-second at-home ritual, scientifically proven by neuroscience labs and hidden for decades in CIA files, is now public, and people are seeing money flow into their lives. Scientists say it activates a brain pathway linked to abundance. Click the link in the comments below before this knowledge disappears again. God wants to remind you today that your son is not alone, and neither are you. He has not left either of you. He is in the midst of this situation, weaving healing into moments that seem ordinary, pouring grace into conversations you haven't yet had. He is preparing hearts, both yours and your son's, for something beautiful. It may not come suddenly, but it will come surely. Because God is faithful, and His promises never fall short. Whatever regrets you carry, God sees them too. He sees the things you wish you'd done differently. But He is not the God of guilt. He is the God of grace. He does not want you stuck in the past. He wants you walking forward hand in hand with Him into a new beginning. There is still time. There is still space. There is still hope. And the love you offer now can reach places that old pain once lived. Let love be your language. Let compassion be your response. When frustration rises, return to gentleness. When discouragement knocks, remind yourself that God is the one writing this story, not you. You are simply His vessel. And what a holy calling that is. He placed this child in your life for a reason. You are meant to love him through every season, not just the joyful ones, but the ones filled with questions and quiet cries. You were meant to hold hope when your son could no longer carry it on his own. And today, you are being invited to step into that sacred purpose again, not by force, not by pressure, but by grace. As you keep showing up, even in the smallest ways, heaven rejoices. The Father sees your heart. He strengthens it. He honors every act of love, no matter how simple, and He will finish what He started. He will carry your son when you cannot. He will heal what you cannot see. He will bring peace where confusion once lived. Just don't stop loving. Don't stop hoping. Don't stop trusting. And right now, your son does not need perfection from you. He does not need the right words, the perfect gesture, or all the answers. What he needs is your heart to be open, your presence to be near, and your love to be unwavering even in his silence. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. You may not know how to begin. That's okay. What matters is that you are willing. What matters is that your spirit is tender enough to feel what God is showing you, and that you do not turn away from that stirring within you. That stirring is not fear, it is love, awakened by the Holy Spirit. It is God's way of reminding you that your presence in your son's life carries purpose, even when you feel unsure, even when you feel tired, even when you wonder if it's too late. God is never too late. And when He calls you into a moment like this, it is because He is already working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see. He is not asking you to carry this weight alone. He is asking you to join Him in carrying your son's heart through compassion, through patience, through faith. There are things happening in your son's life right now that you may not fully understand. He may be facing fears he doesn't have words for, disappointments he has not shared, or loneliness that creeps in even when people are around. But God sees it all, and He chose you, specifically you, to be a part of your son's healing. There is power in simply being there. You may not be able to fix what your son is going through, but your presence alone speaks volumes. When you show up, even in small ways, it sends a message that says, "You matter. I'm not giving up on you. I will walk with you through this." These quiet moments of connection, even if they feel subtle or unimportant, are shaping his spirit. They are reminding him that love still exists, that trust can still be found, and that he is never truly alone. Jesus lived this kind of love. He did not rush people through their pain. He did not stand back and wait for them to come to him perfectly put together. He stepped into their sorrow. He came close to the hurting. He listened. He touched the untouchable. He walked with the confused and the broken. And now, through you, He is doing that again. He is asking you to carry that same spirit of tenderness into the places where your son may have closed his heart. Type 1919 to receive miracles. You are not without strength. God has already equipped you with what you need. And when you feel like you are lacking, when your words fail, when your emotions feel too heavy, His Spirit fills in the gaps. You are not alone in this. He is guiding you, sustaining you, and speaking through you in ways you don't even realize. Every prayer you whisper, every moment you choose patience instead of frustration, every time you remain when you could walk away, it all matters. It all carries heaven's weight. Don't let fear lead you. Let love lead. Fear says, "What if I make it worse?" But love says, "Even if I stumble, I will still stay." Fear looks at the past and points to every failure. Love looks at the present and says, "There's still time." Fear wants you to give up. Love reminds you that God never does. And if He hasn't given up on your son, then you shouldn't either. Your love may be the very thing God uses to pull him out of the darkness. There's no need for dramatic conversations or sudden changes. Start small. Maybe it's a gentle question. Maybe it's simply sitting together without pressure. Maybe it's sending a message just to say, "I love you, I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere." These gestures carry spiritual weight. They are seeds planted in soil that God is already tending to, and over time those seeds will grow, not because you forced them to, but because you trusted God to do what only He can do. A classified 7-second morning ritual, once buried in CIA files, is quietly transforming financial lives. In under 30 seconds, it helps shift the mind from scarcity to wealth, with many reporting surprise income and peace. Click the link in the comments below before the page is removed. The healing may not come overnight. There may still be quiet days, difficult moments, or times when you wonder if anything is changing. But don't let that stop you. Your faithfulness matters. Your obedience to love matters. You are walking the same kind of road. Jesus walked a road of compassion, of mercy, of grace. Keep walking it. Keep trusting. Because where your strength ends, God's strength begins. This is holy ground. What you are doing, choosing to stay close to someone who is hurting, choosing to love without condition, is sacred. Heaven sees it. God honors it, and He will bless it. Not always in the ways you expect, but always in the ways that last. What He begins in love, He never leaves unfinished. He will carry your son just as He carries you. Let your heart stay soft. Let your spirit remain open. Let the love of Christ continue to pour through you into your son's life. And as you do, you will begin to see what only God can do, quietly, gently, faithfully restoring what felt lost, healing what once felt too broken to mend. Your son may not have spoken a word, may not have reached out, may even be pulling away, but God sees through every layer. He knows when the soul is weary, when the heart is confused, and when the mind is overwhelmed. He hears the silent cries and answers them by awakening love in someone close enough to make a difference. That someone is you. Type 2323 if you agree. This moment isn't about waiting for your son to ask for help. This is about stepping forward even when nothing has been said. It's about showing up when no invitation was given, because love doesn't wait to be asked. Love notices, love moves, love reaches across silence, across distance, across fear. And it's not just any love, it's God's love flowing through you. A love that comforts without judgment, that listens without rushing, that stays even when it doesn't make sense. God knows how hard this has been. He knows you've questioned whether you're doing enough, whether you've failed somehow, or whether your love is even making a difference. He knows the weight you've been carrying, not just for your son, but for yourself, for your family, for every moment you've felt helpless. But he also wants you to know that he's never left you alone in this. You've never once had to carry this burden without him. His hands have always been beneath yours, holding you steady when you didn't think you could keep going. You don't have to rescue your son. That's not your role. But you are called to walk with him, to sit beside him in the shadows, to be the one who doesn't look away when the tears come, even if they're hidden behind silence or anger. You are called to be present, like Jesus was present, fully there, fully open, fully ready to love, again and again, without conditions. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. Your son may not know how to let you in. He may be carrying pain that feels too heavy to name, or shame that tells him to stay silent. But love doesn't need a roadmap. It only needs an open door. And the beautiful truth is, when you offer love without pressure, you're not just creating space for healing. You're showing him a glimpse of the love God has for him, a love that is patient, a love that doesn't walk away, a love that whispers, "You are still worthy, you are still mine." There will be moments when this feels slow, moments when it seems like nothing is changing. Don't be discouraged. Seeds take time to grow, and hearts take time to open. Keep planting love anyway. Keep watering with kindness. Keep shining light, even in the quietest ways. Because every gentle act, every listening ear, every moment of stillness shared, it's all building something. It's building trust. It's building safety. And through that, healing will come. You might feel unqualified. You might feel too broken yourself to offer healing to anyone else. But the truth is, God uses the humble, the imperfect, the ones who lean on him instead of themselves. Your tenderness, your willingness, your quiet strength, that's what God will use. That's what your son will remember. Not grand words or perfect moments, but the way you made him feel safe to be himself even when he was struggling. There is a reason God placed this child in your life. There is a reason your heart aches for him the way it does. That love is not random, it is divine. It is the evidence of God's Spirit living in you. And that Spirit will give you everything you need, not all at once, but moment by moment. The right word, the right silence, the right prayer whispered when no one else is watching. You don't have to figure it all out. Just stay close to God. Let him guide you one step at a time. If your son has pushed you away before, don't let that be the end of the story. Love keeps coming back. It doesn't force its way in, it gently knocks and waits. And over time, when he sees that your love doesn't disappear, even when he can't receive it, something will begin to shift. That is the power of grace. It doesn't demand to be earned, it gives freely, again and again. Just like Jesus did for us. This isn't just about a son and a parent. This is about two souls God has brought together for a reason. Your son's healing is connected to your love, and your growth is connected to this journey too. As you lean into this moment, as you choose love over frustration, grace over fear, something inside you will begin to heal as well. That's the beauty of walking with God. He heals both the comforted and the one who offers comfort. So let go of the fear, let go of the questions, let go of the guilt, and hold on to love, hold on to faith. Hold on to the promise that God is not done with your son's story or with yours. What feels impossible to you is still completely possible for him. And he is not only writing this story, he is holding your hand as he writes it. Do you know, inside your brain is a small region linked to wealth and success, once buried in restricted research and hidden in CIA files. This newly revealed frequency is helping people replace stress with financial ease, and God has guided you here. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brainwave now. Let your son see the face of Jesus through you. Not in big speeches or dramatic changes, but in quiet faithfulness. In soft eyes that say, "I see you." In arms that say, "You're safe here." In words that say, "You matter no matter what." That kind of love changes lives. That kind of love brings people back from the edge. That kind of love is what God placed in you for such a time as this. Sometimes it looks like distance, or silence, or a short reply. Sometimes it shows up as weariness in the way someone moves, or hesitation in their voice. But God sees what others miss. He sees the tears your son won't speak of. He sees the fear, the loneliness, the weight he carries. And now, he is calling you not to fix it all, but to love through it all. Type Amen if you believe. There is no greater example of love than what Jesus offered on this earth. He met people in their brokenness, without demanding they clean themselves up first. He didn't require perfect words or perfect timing. He simply showed up. Again and again. He stayed when others left. He touched the hurting when others pulled back. And now, he asks you to do the same, to draw near, to remain gentle, to reflect his love in the middle of your son's hidden struggle. This is not about doing something grand. This is about showing up in the ordinary moments. It's about sending a message without needing a reply. It's about preparing a place at the table, even when the seat is empty for now. It's about sitting nearby in silence when words feel too heavy. These are holy acts. These are the kinds of things Jesus did. And each time you choose that kind of love, you are partnering with heaven itself. God knows how deeply you love your son. He knows you would take his pain if you could. But he's not asking you to carry it all alone. He's inviting you to walk with him, to trust him with the parts you can't reach. Every time you pray for your son, God listens. Every time you say his name with tears in your eyes, heaven moves. You may not see the answer right away, but don't stop praying. Don't stop hoping. God is never still. He is always working in the background, especially when things seem quiet. Type 1111 if you trust in God. Your son may not have the words to say he's struggling. He may not even understand fully what's happening in his own heart. But your love can be a safe place. Not a place that demands explanations, but a place where he feels held without needing to explain. The world can be loud, cruel, and confusing. But your love, when led by the Spirit, can be the soft space where peace begins to grow again, where trust is rebuilt, where grace becomes real. It's okay if you don't know what to say. Sometimes love speaks most powerfully through listening, through a hand resting gently on a shoulder, through the act of staying when leaving might be easier, through patience, through the kind of silence that isn't empty but full of warmth. That's where healing often begins, not in big gestures, but in the steady, quiet presence of someone who refuses to turn away. There may be pain between you and your son, words that went unsaid, or words that were spoken in anger. There may be moments in the past you wish you could erase, but God doesn't define us by our worst moments. He defines us by His love, and His love says this: nothing is too far gone, nothing is too broken, As long as there is love, there is a way forward. And His love is flowing through you stronger than you know. This is a new day, not because the past didn't happen, but because grace is new every morning. You are not called to carry guilt. You are called to carry love. And that love, when surrendered to God, can do what no human plan ever could. It can soften hearts. It can bridge distance. It can speak into the places where shame once lived and say, "You are still loved. You are still enough." Your son might resist. He might not know how to accept what you're offering. That's okay. Love isn't about results. It's about faithfulness. And God sees your faithfulness. Every time you choose to show up with grace, you are breaking down walls. You are making room for God to move. You are creating a path for healing, not forced, not rushed, but real. God is not asking you to be strong all the time. He's asking you to be honest, to come to Him with your own tears, your own doubts, your own need for comfort. As you pour into your son, let God pour into you. Let Him remind you that you're not doing this alone. You were never meant to. He is your strength. He is your peace. He is your guide when the road ahead feels unclear. This journey of love is not easy, but it is holy. Every moment of patience, every word spoken in kindness, every choice to stay soft when the world tries to harden your heart, these are acts of worship. These are the echoes of Jesus' love, alive in you. And they will not return empty. They will take root. They will bloom, maybe slowly, maybe quietly, but they will grow. He's not pointing a finger of blame, but offering a pathway of grace. He sees your son's inner pain, the confusion he doesn't know how to express, the weight he's tried to carry alone, and He is gently placing that awareness into your spirit, not to overwhelm you, but to show you how deeply you are needed. Type 222 if you feel this is for you. Financial freedom is not about effort, but activating a hidden brain signal once buried in CIA files. Neuroscience shows this sound wave helps attract money and opportunity faster, and thousands are already seeing unexpected income. Click the link in the description and comments now to activate the ancient money wave today. God has chosen you to be part of your son's healing journey, not because you are perfect, but because your love carries a quiet strength that can reach where even words cannot go. Sometimes when hearts break silently, it's not grand speeches that mend them. It's a consistent, loving presence. The kind that says, "Even if I don't have the answers, I'm here. I will walk through this with you. I won't let you face it alone. You are not reading this by accident. You are not feeling this burden for no reason. The very ache you feel deep inside is evidence that God is moving. He speaks through that stirring, that gentle pressure in your chest, that tightening in your throat when you think of your son and wonder if he's okay. That's not just emotion, it's spiritual. It's divine compassion being awakened inside you. God never overlooks pain. He never ignores silent cries. And your son's tears, even the ones he hides from the world, have reached heaven. God doesn't wait for pain to be loud before He acts. He begins working the moment sorrow begins to settle in. And right now, His work includes you. Not to carry everything alone, but to be His hands and heart on earth. To be someone who doesn't give up, even when the path looks long. The love you hold for your son was crafted by God with intention. It's not just affection, it's spiritual armor, woven from grace and compassion. That love is a covering, a shelter, a reminder that no matter how heavy life becomes, there is always one place where safety lives. That place is in your presence, in your embrace, in your words, especially when they're spoken softly, when no one else is around, when your son least expects them. Type 2020 to claim miracles for your family. You might feel uncertain. You might think you've made too many mistakes, or that the damage is already done. But that is not the truth God wants you to believe. The truth is this: as long as you have breath, And as long as love still lives in your heart, it is never too late for healing. Never too late to begin again. Never too late to restore what once felt lost. Jesus specializes in resurrection, not just of bodies, but of relationships, of trust, of love that went quiet under the weight of misunderstanding or time. He came to seek and save what was lost, and that includes moments you wish you could go back and relive. He is not bound by the past, and when he speaks through your heart and moves through your love, he redeems what seemed beyond repair. Your son may not say it, but he needs you, even if he's grown, even if he's distant, even if he pushes you away. The connection between you is not just emotional, it is spiritual. That bond does not disappear. It may stretch, it may grow quiet, but it never truly breaks. And love, when rooted in God, has a way of finding its way back, no matter how far it has wandered. Do not underestimate the power of small things. A simple message, a quiet act of kindness, a memory shared, a moment of silence where you sit beside him without needing to speak. These may seem small to you, but in God's hands, they are seeds, and when sown in love, those seeds will grow. Not always quickly, not always how you expect, but they will. There may be days when you feel weary, when your prayers feel repetitive, when it seems like nothing is changing. Those are the moments you must hold on tighter, not to your own strength, but to God's. He is the one who holds your son when you cannot. He is the one who whispers truth when the world feeds lies. He is the one who brings peace into restless places. Let him carry what you cannot. Let him heal what you can't see. Your role is to love, consistently, gently, without conditions. That love will become a doorway, a way back home, a light that never goes out no matter how dark things get. And when your son finds himself in the quiet of his own struggle, he'll remember that light. He'll remember the safety of your love, and in that remembrance, he will feel the nearness of God. You were made for this moment. Your heart was shaped to hold this kind of love, not the kind that fades in hardship, but the kind that grows deeper, stronger, holier. You are part of God's plan for your son, not just as a parent, but as a carrier of his mercy, a living reflection of the kind of love that Jesus came to give. You don't need to be extraordinary. You just need to be present, open, willing. God will do the rest. He will guide your hands, your words, your steps, and he will pour strength into you every time you feel empty. You will not be alone, not for one moment. He will be there, working through every conversation, every quiet evening, every tear you shed in private. Love like this changes everything. Love like this is never wasted. And love like this, when surrendered to God, is the very thing that brings light back into a soul that thought the light was gone.